Means I have to go live, huh? How's everybody doing this evening? I'm actually here on time. Look at that. Still didn't get a chance to eat. I made homemade, for those who might even know anything about it, homemade crab and corn bisque. And I warmed it up so much. I just got home. I warmed it up so much that it's hot as hell, and I'm still burning my mouth trying to eat it because I don't want to wait another hour to eat because I'm starving. So if y'all hear a spoon in between screens, I don't know what you're talking about. So what's going on in crypto? It's been a very, very interesting day. Personally, a very interesting day. Y'all know I don't like making this channel political at all, but it's getting so hard not to, especially when it starts hitting you personally with some things being changed and stuff, and some drastic stuff being changed. And personally, you know, when your friends start getting phone calls and stuff that they're in actually important jobs, it isn't like they were just doing extra jobs. It's not good, and I'm not happy right now. And you know, it is. The state of Louisiana took a 20-year setback today with a decision they made, the governor made, and I don't understand it. Don't understand the logic sometimes. Just because you think you're saving money doesn't mean it needs to be cut out. So, you know, talking to friends all day on the phone, I can't imagine going to work at 9 a.m. this morning thinking it's a normal Thursday and you're told, hey, tomorrow bring all your stuff to work. I just don't, when you're in a vital homeland security position. But that's not what y'all are here for. There are a bunch of different things going on with some different projects that I'm a kind of hit on. I know that we kind of go off the rails at some point, but you know, while we wait for everybody to kind of get in, we talk about let's see what I can find to talk about while we wait for some more people to get in here. See what Bitcoin's doing. I think everything's going sideways. You keep hearing more and more, you know, the FUD, between the FUD and the clickbait titles and stuff, it's just getting stupid. You know, XRP, God bless their heart. Again, you're hearing that, oh, well, no, everything's over with again for the fourth, fifth, sixth time. And, you know, it's $10 is inevitable. And I'm like, okay, good luck. Bitcoin sideways, man. You can say what you want. It's been going sideways since our last video. It's been going sideways. There's 85,000 and sideways. I don't know what, you know, they had the FOMC meeting. They thought something would happen with this, and at least they were supposed to have the FOMC meeting. I've been too busy dealing with this other stuff that I haven't seen or heard anything, but I don't know. I know you don't come here for my technical analysis, but it's kind of crazy. Vet's going sideways. Cardano sideways. Solana sideways. AVAX really sideways. I don't know. What else is going on? I could also, for those who are in Soarchain, I want to know, are y'all having issues with y'all's devices resetting? It seems like I have to once a week reprovision my Soarchain device in my car. When I try to connect with my Wi-Fi tethering, it doesn't work. and I have to reset it and re-provision it, and that's getting old. In the past, cellular was more reliable, and for some reason now I'm having nothing but issues with it. I don't know. Yeah, better sideways than down. I agree with you, but you know, there's a part of me that I know for the crypto market we want to see it go up, but for somebody who's poor like me but still wants to keep DCAing, the more it goes down, the more you get for your buck when you DCA. Because I DCA the same amount in. $20 normally into this crypto, 20 into this one, 20 into this one. If I have 5 different ones, or if I have 4 different ones, I'll do 25 or something like that every payday. And hey, if it goes down, I'm getting more for my money. That's what it is. I'm still running reliably every day. I'm still running my Chirp KAGE project. I am ranked 36 for the round. I know people on, the reason I'm bringing it up is because some people are losing their minds in the Discord because they're trying to say, oh, KAGE told them, or Chirp told them, hey, if you're not ranked at least 5,000, you won't get any rewards when they give out rewards, and people are losing their minds. All you got to do is put this on an Android phone and just ride around. You know, I don't understand what's so difficult with it. So globally right now, I am ranked 146. If anybody can see that, maybe not. I don't know. For the FCKY, I have to watch how I pronounce that. I'm ranked 82. And for the leaderboard total, I'm ranked 142. I got 33.5 million data chips for that. So I'm running the hell out of that one. And the other one, again, I like these because you can just keep them in the back of your phone. If you look in the description below, if any of y'all want to join these. But I'm also running 375 Go. And like I showed y'all last week, I have so many hexes now that it's in the 100,000, so that now it just kind of rolls over. But that's another project that you just run it. All right, so little Timmy, where's my high fix order, Grumpy? All right, well, we're going to discuss that in a second. Yeah, we're going to discuss the easy nav thing and stuff like that. 18 Grumpy, a life secret, what would it be? Oh, you're going to get me in way too much trouble. A life secret, what would it be? I don't know about a life secret. I think everybody's got regrets. There's times I get into some, I even did a video one time when I was driving about some depression, not depression, but just everybody, I think, especially when you start getting my age, and I went to the hospital and had to go to cardiologist for some heart issues, and you start getting concerned about that kind of stuff. You just have some what if decisions and stuff like that. And my wife might watch this video one day. She don't watch any of my videos, but knowing my luck, she would watch the one video where I said something. But I just find I question a lot of decisions. And it's funny that one little decision you make, kind of like, I don't want to say like Back to the Future, but like, or the Avengers movie, but like one little decision you made at 20 years old, selfish or not selfish, you just now put yourself in this entire different path. And if this entire different path wouldn't have happened in my life, I wouldn't have my kids I have now. I wouldn't have the career I have now. I wouldn't have people, not that I'm trying to pat myself on the back, but recruiting me to, when I retire from this job in 18 months, to come work for them. I wouldn't have all that, but then I wouldn't trade my family I have in now. But you wonder that if you would have stayed on that route, what different. I think a lot of people have those kind of regrets. My biggest regret as far as crypto is concerned is I've told this project I told this story a while back, but I have a cousin who I used to always talk about computer builds with, and years ago. I mean, I'm talking about like when 2003, 2004, 2005, computer builds and stuff. He was a software engineer in Seattle, Washington. In 2012, he knew I was going to the gym a lot. I lived in the gym. I was down to like, I know you ain't gonna believe it, but I was down to like 9 or 10% body fat. It was stupid. Midlife crisis type stuff. But I was in the gym 6 days a week. If I missed one day, I went. So he tells me about this new thing called Bitcoin. But back then, you didn't have wallets. You didn't have Coinbase. It was pain in the rear end to get Bitcoin. I'm watching Bitcoin, and today Bitcoin might be worth 25 cents. Then the next day it's worth 10 cents. Then the next day it's worth $1. And I'm like, wait, I'm not buying $25 worth of this, whatever the hell this is. And there's no way. Like, he said, well, you can mine it too. I can tell you how to get these, I think he was using ASIC miners. So that might have been a little bit later. Tom just blends in after a while. But, and that I was also so involved in the gym stuff, in the gym life. I knew some people who were getting stuff for the gym to work out with from, let's just say, unlicensed pharmaceutical companies in other countries. And what were they using? They were using Bitcoin. So me and the job I had at the time, I'm like, dude, there's no way I'm getting involved in Bitcoin. People using that to buy drugs. Well, now you fast forward 13 years later, and my cousin, who still holds right now 120 Bitcoin or something like that, who's also married to a doctor, who also owns this huge, gigantic farm now in North Carolina and stuff like that, and who's still doing his own software engineering company. I didn't listen to him. And you look at it now, So how about that? One of my 4 Soarchains is no longer challenged. Happened right after the update from Honeygain. I'm gonna tell you, the update from Soarchain, that is when a lot of my problems started. It got worse. How about that? Before on Bluetooth, when I tried the Bluetooth after they supposedly fixed it, it still wouldn't stay connected. Now, cellular would always stays, Wi-Fi tethering would always stay connected. Now it ain't. So I don't know if, let's say, let's move the chug water. Sooner or later, I'm going to have to find somebody to chug water, and I'm not falling for it. So right now, if there is a station now in chug water, I'm not falling for it. And that'd be fun. It'd be funny if it was actually a station in chug water for real. That would be some, for those who don't know, we always talk about chug water, putting a station in chug water, Wyoming. And what's weird is I know somebody who lives in Wyoming, and I have a host in Idaho, which is the next state over from there. But, first I got to figure out where the hell chug water is on the map. So, my wife keeps wanting to go to Wyoming. She watched too much Yellowstone TV show. So she keeps talking about going up there. Maybe I just need to tell her that, hey, let's go to chug water. And chug what? Yeah, let's go to chug water. So Axie's station from chug water is no longer there. He lost it. Chug water's wide open. Whoever wants to hook a station up, I'll provide the station. You provide the power in the spot. And we'll work a good deal out just so I can get something in chug water. I mean, I got 12 streets to choose from. Not even 12 streets. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 streets. Oh, I got to get one on South Chugwater Highway. So that's that. What else are we going to discuss? Chat is disabled for the stream. That makes no sense. Eat better and exercise. Man, it's easy to say that. I mean, I get 4 hours of sleep at night between running my side business and everything else I got going on. So before I hit on Wingbits, one last thing I want to hit on is I saw early an announcement from Entropy that in preparation of Entropy A, that project that they plan on doing, they were changing a little bit of it was tokenomics or something, and I want to discuss it, and I don't see it no more. I see where they're doing all the elemental stuff and all that, but I know I saw an announcement from Entropy, or Entropy as I call it, about something changing, something going on. You know, even with the price reduction, I'm still making $5 or $6 a day with Entropy. I got my other credit that's burning millions of tokens and stuff like that I'm throwing money away. But Entropy A is supposed to be the newer version of the project where you will be able to sell. At least that's what they've always said. But I know more and more people getting kicked out of it because they just can't hold on to them tokens. I don't understand it, but hey, I don't know your personal business or your life, but you got into a job. You got into a project that said, hey, we don't want you selling, and you agreed to that when you dug the hole and went through all that trouble, and then now you're going to sell and get kicked out the project making $5 a day because you can't hold on to it. But like one person argued, the project's whole hashtag on Twitter X is miners eat first. If you don't let the miners eat, and you know, they tried saying, well, that's for the future. So I don't know what happened to my announcement from Entropy. But yeah. So let me find this announcement that everybody's been talking about with Wingbits. What's going on with Wingbits? First of all, first thing we're gonna bring up is, I guess, some of the positives. Let's bring up some of the positives first. What's going on with Wingbits? We know HiFix devices are being HiFix branded or manufactured, and we're assuming that some of those devices must have got shipped directly or something. But some people are getting them already. Some people got them very quickly and already got these things set up. I know somebody had brought up about Bob. I can't see his name because they got a pinned message on top of it. Somebody mentioned about, hey, will you do a setup video for MGW 310? Sure, as soon as I get one in. I'm supposed to have one coming to me for an unboxing video. I hope I get it soon. You know, I think who sent me that. But I just hope it's not like the GeoSigner, because by the time I got a GeoSigner in to do an unboxing video and setup, everybody had theirs already. So, you know, I'm hoping that I get that somewhat soon. But of course, there'll be I want to go through the whole thing. I want to go deep dive into this cable that everybody, you know, people making comments about and stuff like that. I don't see nothing really wrong with it. But again, I haven't had it in my hand yet. I'm worried about being long enough for one or two of my stations on rooftops, but I'll cross that bridge when it comes. But hey, we know HiFixes are shipping out. I know today they onboarded more HiFix devices today than before in a single day. So they're at approximately 15 for today already. So those devices are being shipped. Now, look, I know, including me, but some of y'all who are still waiting on them, or some people haven't even got shipping labels and stuff. I know you don't want to, you know, that don't mean nothing to you. But hey, at least you know those devices are on their way. People are paranoid. We know what happened with helium, and people never saw them being shipped. They got people to this day still saying they're waiting for helium devices. So at least it still should feel somewhat good that you know devices are moving. You know, they said Q1 of 2025. You still got 11 days for that. So don't just hold out hope that you're gonna get that. So if you order Wingbits now, you get it in like 3 weeks. I don't know where you're getting 3 weeks from. Now, again, there might be a website that you know that's telling you that. But last I saw on a couple of websites that I go to or give codes out to, everything I'm seeing is if you buy one now, you're getting it in May. So, but I mean, we all knew that was, you know, this is the first time these devices are getting shipped out, that you know, we know that, like I said, it's the first time they're getting shipped out. They're getting first time manufactured. They had to get, they got delayed because they found an issue with it with the RF noise. Then they upgraded us on the LNAs on the inside, which is all a good thing. I don't mind a delay. I'd much rather them figure all that stuff out now. So now the next group that's going to go out doesn't have to go through those delays because they've already found those issues. So I'm not upset over that. Trying to get this. So this is HiFix's website. I'm trying to get it up for y'all because my fat head's is covering it up. But HiFix's website right here says, if you order this today, you're getting this in 8 weeks. So 8 weeks is 2 months. So you're looking at end of May. Same thing with the MGW 310. So that's what HiFix is showing. I wonder what the GeoPulse is. GeoPulse is 8 weeks. Regular HiFix station. Shipping lead time 8 to 10 weeks. So a regular HiFix GeoNet station's even longer. Again, now and then you start going to some of these other websites, and you run into the problem that they've run into now, where they go out of business, or they claim bankruptcy, or whatever's going on. So, how Helium Deploy's got right now, May 14th, if you order that today, which is a little bit less than 8 weeks, or right at 8 weeks. So you're going to have to wait a little bit if you want this. The big thing is like the price tag. And we kept saying during the pre-sale, it was $100 off. Plus, again, if you use my code, you get another $100 off. Here or take, give it a few cents. But, you know, little Timmy, I'm trying to, I'm hoping you're being sarcastic. I told you I don't have a device my own self in, but I'm hoping you're being sarcastic. So Jacob says, new DEPIN project, DEPIN surprise. Hey, this is, I'll say it like this. We ordered cameras. What was it? Not Honeygain, whatever it was. Hive Mapper cameras a year ago that were supposed to be shipped by the Q4 2024. From what I understand, the B cameras, ain't nobody got those in yet. That's going to be you want to talk about another Helium? I deleted. I mean, I canceled my order back in October, November when they had another setback. You have all these fleets that are getting those. Those rewards are going to be hell. At least these are being shipped out now. Little Timmy, look, I appreciate you use my code, buddy, but whoever you ordered that from that website, whether you use my code at HiFix.ai, like I just showed you, or Helium Deploy, all I was doing was giving you a referral to that site, and it saved you some money. So you would have to contact that website, and those websites will be sending you a shipping label or shipping notification email with a shipping address, a shipping tracker number, and they're handling all that stuff. So for those who, let me see what else I got first. I'm trying to stay on the positive first. So one thing Wingbits is asking is, as you get your new devices from the new HiFix devices, whether it is the WB 200 or the MGW 310, please make sure you read the docs page. It's not exactly plug and play. You do have to do some device setup and onboarding. Also, people, I see that just because I see this question a lot going on right now in the Discord. If you have a hex that might be coming up for expiration soon and you're still waiting on your device, you can contact Wingbits to get it extended. Now, if you still got weeks and weeks and weeks left of that hex, you don't have to start panicking yet. But if it's getting kind of close, you know, I saw somebody earlier in the Discord say something like they had their hex reserved when they bought the HiFix station. For some reason, they cleared it out. Now their HiFix stations arrived. They're trying to go back to that original hex, and it's taken. And that's when I tried not to let the grumpiness come out of me. Like, if you knew you were putting that station there, or you would need that location, why would you clear it out? Because you changed your mind about getting it or not getting it and stuff like that, and now you want them to help you. Dude, your hex is taken up. I'm sorry. I don't understand that. But people are putting going back to the setups, people are putting in GeoNet serials when onboarding on Wingbits instead of the Wingbits one. So apparently what I'm assuming is there must be two serials on the combination devices. There must be a serial for GeoNet and there must be a serial for Wingbits. So Wingbits at some point onboarding, again, I don't know. There is a device setup docs page that you can get to through the Discord and read all this for yourself. But people are putting in the wrong serial numbers from either project. Just follow the device setup. Again, I don't have to worry about that because I haven't gotten one yet. So, the new reward calculations are coming soon. You will start seeing that. We have been told that has started already, but it's in the background, kind of running parallel or side by side with what you're actually seeing. But they're watching it, they're testing it, they're making sure everything's straight. But at some point, you should start seeing the new rewards numbers. I'm sure you're going to see an announcement from Axie or Mike or Robin or somebody that's going to say, hey, ladies and gentlemen, we now have the new rewards taking place. Or you should see your dashboard now reflect those changes. So I know there's a lot of people excited about the new tokenomics. A lot of people excited to see where, that takes them. I know the team from Wingbits has said that they are excited to kind of see everyone to be able to see those new reward numbers. But right now, everything's kind of ran in tandem, side by side. You can't see what they are behind the scenes for right now, but again, they're doing the testing. I'm curious to know, and I never asked them this or anything like that, and this might be a question for the live that they're going to have next week or the stage. But I'm curious to know did they ever prove or find anybody exactly gaming by using the geosigners yet? The geosigners, for some people who might not be aware of that, the geosigners at one point was supposed to be done by the 17th, which was Monday. But there are a number of geosigners that are still stuck in customs in some countries. And I don't even want to guess what countries it was. South America had some countries, something that had issues with even just letting them come in the country or paying the tax or whatever it was on it. And some people still have not gotten those yet. So Wingbits decided that they were going to extend it until the end of the month. But I'm curious to know if there was anybody found gaming or anything like that. We'll see. Because then I would think that if somebody's found gaming in any of the hexes that I cover, I should see also the increased rewards from his tokens being taken away. Also, there's no mention at all, just in case anybody wants to ask, no mention at all with TGE or mainnet or anything like that. I know there are people who come in there every day and ask. Just like people ask every day about, is there an update from Hotfix? And it takes everything I have not to grab the keyboard when I see these same trolls come in. Look, and I'm not trying not to talk rude, because some people are just paranoid about getting their device in. And then you find out what happened today with EasyNav. And somebody mentioned it earlier about, man, how am I to do this? I think no first. Last patch, really? Yeah. So like Axie says, as you can imagine, it seems the cheaters haven't been in a hurry to connect them. And I kind of figured that too. They're going to have an excuse. The problem is you have some people who legitimately can't get theirs, hooked up. I have 12 personal stations. I'm sorry, I have 14 personal stations. 12 out of my 14 have their Geosonics hooked up. I still have 2 more left. But what I did is, and both of these are host stations. One's on top of a concrete silo, 200 something feet in the air. Elevators broke, which means when those concrete guys have to go in there to get their raw concrete product, they're climbing up a literally vertical ladder to get to the top now until that gets fixed. Well, Grumpy ain't climbing no ladder. So I took a screenshot of that text between me and that person, my friend who has that, who I'm splitting those rewards with. And I told him, hey, the elevator's not supposed to be fixed until the 2nd week of April. This won't be hooked up. Just so y'all know. I know I'm going to lose rewards. It is what it is. It's not my fault. And then also, my guy in Florida, who is hosting a station for me, he Airbnb's his house out until April 1st or something like that, or first week of April every year. So he hasn't been around there. Luckily, station just stays online. But so I got this delivered to me. And then once he gets home and I know he's home, then I have to get this shipped to him, and then he'll hook it up and it'll be online. But again, those are 2 devices right there that aren't hooked up yet. And I got one more somewhere that for one of my friends, his beach house in Mississippi, and I haven't had a chance to go drive down there. It's going to be a 3-hour ride for me. So it's sitting right here. But some people are going to have excuses why they can't get those things hooked up. But at some point, they're going to be SOL, and it's going to get. So what I want to find out and I want to discuss is, somebody brought it up earlier about EasyNav supposedly. And I'm not familiar with EasyNav at all, but from what I understand, several people ordered from EasyNav, which I'm assuming is the website, and they were waiting for EasyNav to, and that also has something to do with Quake Core or something like that. I don't want to get all this wrong or anything like that, but EasyNav, who people, I'm trying to find exactly, because I want to discuss it directly without me paraphrasing. Basically, let's see if I can just pull this around. And look, some of y'all might know more than me, and feel free to take over and kind of discuss it. But Quake Core, dear Quake Core community, EasyNav has filed for bankruptcy. We understand this might raise some questions, but we want to reassure that this situation has no impact on Quake Core. So I'm assuming that Quake Core, Jay Styles, you might want to catch up, buddy. EasyNav is bankrupt. I don't want to scroll around too much. Let me see if I can find the exact. Dear Quake Core community, we would like to update you on a recent development. EasyNav has filed for bankruptcy. We understand this might raise some questions, but want to assure you that this situation has no impact on Quake Core. Our mission remains unchanged. We're continuing to work seamlessly with all relevant distributors. So was QuakeCore a project, and EasyNav was selling their device also similar to what Wingbits was, and Wingbits is, QuakeCore is kind of the same boat that Wingbits is. Unfortunately, we cannot provide any insights into what the future holds for EasyNav, or we'll keep you informed for the relevant updates. So, somewhere, and I'm trying to find it also without losing y'all's attention. So y'all can hit the like button while y'all are waiting on me. But somewhere there is a some people got this email. That's what kind of started us off. If y'all can read that, I might need to make this a little bigger. Let's see if I can make this a little bigger. Let's try this. Dear valued customer and partners, I regret to inform you that EasyNav.xyz is currently unavailable to fulfill orders for GeoNet and Wingbits products and services due to personal illness and some recent decisions that have not worked out as planned. As a result, my business relationship with HiFix has been terminated. I will no longer be distributing any GeoNet or Wingbits products or services. Unfortunately, EasyNav.xyz is also unable to process any outstanding orders or issue refunds at this time. I have a serious question and issue about everything he says above when he says he can't give refunds. If this was strictly a health issue, he should be able to give refunds back. But hold on, let me just finish. HiFix is not obligated to resolve the pending orders or any associated deaths resulting from my decisions. However, I'm working with them to assist in addressing the situation. While I'm unable to respond to messages in the usual channels, I'll continue to provide information and respond to emails. I deeply apologize for this unfortunate turn of events and for the impact it may have on you. I take full responsibility for my actions and decisions, and I am working to find the best solution moving forward. Thank you for your understanding and patience during this difficult time. Reuven Keller. I think that kind of covers it. Now, it covers it as far as EasyNav is concerned. Now, y'all know I'm a very big proponent of the Wingbits project. Y'all also know that probably my second highest project that's full net that I really enjoy, maybe number one, is GeoNet. EasyNav was a distributor of those. EasyNav took your money. So you already have people, I don't want to call them trolls, but usually when people are a-holes, and that's about the nicest way I can put it without getting in trouble, I consider them trolls. Demanding GeoNet fix this. Demanding what is GeoNet or Wingbits going to do because of this. This is not GeoNet Wingbits' fault. Yes. Oh, well, no, they have to keep their name, clean, so they need to fix this. No. I mean, they want to, and Wingbits even put an announcement. And I know GeoNet put an announcement out about this, and this is the GeoNet's announcement. HiFix has informed that EasyNav has unfortunately declared bankruptcy. We understand the situation is unsettling. We want to provide an update from HiFix to ensure proper production planning. In addition to place product orders with HiFix, receiving customers on payments like other DEPIN products. HiFix has not received any orders or payments from EasyNav in a timely manner. As a result, EasyNav's customers have not been included in their production pipeline. So, however, we're open to working with Reuven to find solutions for EasyNavs on a case-by-case. We advise customers to contact shop at EasyNav directly and follow his guidance for further steps. Now, what I told people is the first thing I'll be doing is if I use the credit card, I'm not waiting for any kind of resolve or anything like that. Y'all can, but clearly he did something with this money, because if this was just that he had some issues with HiFix and HiFix hasn't sent stuff in, he would still have that money to refund y'all. I would be contacting PayPal. I would be contacting your credit card companies or whoever you purchase with and try to do a back charge. I told that to people early on Discord. Now, Wingbits also put one out that's, so Wingbits also did an announcement. which, they are addressing it. So let me see. And I'm glad they're kind of addressing it. We want to address the recent situation with EasyNav, developing matter. We're still gathering all the details. Our team is actively collaborating with HiFix and GeoNet to resolve this issue promptly, efficiently. Please be assured that all parties involved are fully committed to ensuring that everyone who ordered their device through EasyNav receives as expected. Since information is still limited, we kindly ask for your patience while we work to obtain more clarity. We are dedicated to keeping you informed and promise to provide updates as soon as they become available. We sincerely apologize to everyone impacted by this situation, and rest assured we will. Now, remember, this is all coming down in the last couple of hours. They're going to come up with a plan. They're going to work with EasyNav. Whether, if this is truly health related, God bless them. I'll say a prayer for them. As some people have commented in this chat, and on don't get me wrong, there's some people who the conspiracy theory people are going to go crazy. But if this was strictly a health thing, that money would still be sitting in there. Now, I'm not saying this is a rug pull. I don't know these people. I don't know this website or anything like that. But y'all, for the people who are PO'd and upset, or pissed off, for people who don't know what PO'd mean, make sure you aim this at the right place. Do not blame HiFix, Wingbits, or GeoNet for this. Don't expect them that they have to refund your money or have to still ship you a device. Those devices cost money. I'm sure there's a markup in them, and they might not cost $1,000 or $400 something, but they're not free. They're not $20, $40. Somebody's got to pay for that. So whether or not they somehow get some kind of credit or whatever, and then they ship, I don't even want to come up with scenarios, because I don't want nobody to repeat any of those scenarios that I'm just going to pop off the top of my head. But make sure you point your pissed offness at the right direction. I'm already seeing that in the GeoNet thing, where people are demanding GeoNet fix this because this has their name on it. So what? Like, I'm sorry. I hate to be like that. This is where the grumpy part comes out of me at. This is real big boy, big girl talk. Reality. I have full faith as a project. We've seen Wingbits. Wingbits sent out of their own pocket geosigners. GeoNet is a very established project. I can see them doing to the best of their ability, try to make some of this right. But just understand, it ain't their responsibility either. They're gonna try to do what's right, I'm sure. I have full faith in it. But I would just, before everybody starts panicking or accusing or saying stupid stuff in Discords that might get them kicked out or anything, take a deep breath, calm down for 24 hours. And look, I understand it's easy for me to say that because I'm not in that boat. I understand that. But I'm going to tell you right now, if I was in that boat, the first thing I would be doing is calling my credit card company and telling them what's going on and try to do a chargeback. We saw that happen with helium. And even though people are like, oh, you can't do a chargeback because it's been longer than 30 days or 60 days or 90 days, they still got the chargebacks. That, or you can wait 24 hours, like somebody said somewhere, and see what might come out of this, and then make a decision then. I appreciate Wingbits, because somewhere in that Discord, and I don't know if I can quickly find it without losing y'all, but somewhere in Wingbits, Mike came and said, that people were worried about, hey, what happens if I have a hex? What happens if I have a hex, and because of this foolishness with EasyNav, I have to cancel that order, and then when I get my money back, I still want to be in Wingbits, so I'm going to go through HiFix and use Grumpy's code, or, which is an established website, or even Helium Deploy, which is a very established website. Grumpy has a code for that too. Either way, you ordered somewhere else. What happens to your hex? Mike, or Axie, whatever you want to call him, has said they're not going to allow you to lose your hex because of something that was out of your control. They will work with you to keep your hex, which I think it's cool of them. It's cool that they were thinking that far ahead about this, and they're going to try to work with you as best they can. So what's happening, Lies? 619, you've been around this block, especially you and me go way back into the helium days. You've seen all this stuff like I've seen stuff with helium. Listen, again, I'm gonna say this again. I don't know this guy or this website from Adam. I don't know any of it. I just question if it was helium, unless he used all that money for his bills. I just know that if it was medical related, where's the money at? When he's saying he can't process refunds, but HiFix is saying we didn't get the money from them, where's the money? You know, this reminds me of a certain other project where they swear it wasn't a rug pull, but yet there was somebody sitting there ready when all of a sudden they got all the coins dumped to them and was prepared right then and there to sell. But that wasn't planned. That was just an accident. And hey, you know, NCIS Gibbs' rule was there's no such thing as coincidence. Well, that's TV. That's not for real. But is it coincidental that there's a health thing, he's going bankrupt, and yet he can't charge? You know, maybe he's. And then another question is, just so I keep going down the conspiracy theory lane, have you actually filed for bankruptcy already? So how long has this been going on that you continue to take orders? Because you're saying you're filing bankruptcy. Have you filed yet? Because people who want to sit here and defend him, again, I don't know him. He could be the greatest guy in the world, just with some bad luck and health issues. But if you find out that he's filed bankruptcy already, which you can't do that in one day, and you can, if he filed that a week or 2 or 3 weeks ago, and he continued to take orders, oh, I don't know where he's located at, but I'd be booking a flight. We'd have a problem. We'll see. I don't know. Where can somebody say where EasyNav is based out of? Can somebody tell me if the EasyNav website is still working? Because I'm going to tell you right now, if he's still taking orders, health reasons or not, the police needs to be pulling up to his house with the SWAT van and going through his front door. And again, I don't know him from Adam, but I would have a serious issue if he's still taking orders. So, yeah, I've never been to this website before. So let's all take a ride together. Yeah. I'm glad I ain't start drinking yet. So that page don't work. How about the MGW 310? You know what? It gives a headache. So you can't get that. I'm just curious if there's a way somewhere to put this in your cart and check out. Because if there is, there's a serious problem with that. Investigating together. See, it says. So I don't know. To me, everything should be shut down, but with some kind of banner that says, I don't know. But that's just me. I'd have a serious issue if he's somehow still taking orders. And again, I question, I'm familiar with bankruptcy stuff out here because of my job and stuff like that. And I'm curious to know when he filed. Today's March 20th. Again, it's not my money. It's up to y'all to be upset. Hopefully y'all get some type of restitution. Hopefully y'all can get a charge back on your thing. Hopefully maybe HiFix has a way of, making it right. I don't know. But I know this is the hot topic in several Discords right now. So EasyNav must have been doing a decent amount of business, which brings me back into the same circle of where's it at? So Kyle Coffey says, and I agree, there should be a fat announcement right now on their website that says, we're no longer taking orders, we're out of business, we're bankrupt, or due to health reasons, this is being shut down, blah, 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 blah. Who fought it? I agree with you. But depending on where they're based out of, I've always had codes for HiFix and Helium Deploy, but I've had people contact me from the other side of the pond, as I call it, about ordering from, UK, and I didn't have codes over there. So I'm assuming that EasyNav must be from, I think they said they're from like Sweden or something like that. Partner established, Switzerland is where they're from. So I guess people over there needed some place to, get their stuff. I don't know. Is this website always this slow? Jesus Christ. Oh. So Swiss don't play. Yeah, Swiss like that money, huh? I just, if he's somehow still taking orders, that's wrong. There's some serious problems like that. From when I click on it, I can't get nothing to go in the cart, but I don't know. So Bjorn says it's in Switzerland, and if the law is similar to the German, then it definitely, how I wrote, he is not allowed to pay something back on his own. I'm gonna tell you, not that I've ever filed bankruptcy as a business here in the United States, but I'm pretty sure there's also some type of thing also, but that's once you filed. Once you file and it gets certified and gets started, you can't do anything with money. They decide who gets paid back and who gets creditors. And if you want a refund, then you have to file with the creditors or with the bankruptcy court or something like that. But again, I keep going in these circles. I don't want to be here till 9 o'clock tonight for another hour, but you keep going in the same circle. Maybe I need to draw it on this piece of paper. My notes for, see, I actually had notes for today's video. Y'all should be proud of me. I was on time and had notes, y'all. Draw a little circle that I keep going around the circle is, well, was bankruptcy filed a while back and you continue to take orders? Or you're planning on filing bankruptcy and you're speaking to an attorney and the attorney's like, I think you should be doing this. That's, I don't know. B, I hear you. But I also know I'm going to get accused of just using this as a way to get more views and stuff, because I don't know, how many of my subscribers would have been using them. I mean, I'm sure I might have had a couple, but, from that side of the world, and maybe tomorrow when I need the video to do tomorrow, there'll also be some more news that comes out. Maybe an announcement from GeoNet, an announcement from Wingbits, the announcement from HiFix and Soarchain and everybody else that this guy was doing business with. Let's see. GeoNet, Rover, Quake Core, Soarchain, Wingbits, Star Power. That's a new one to me. Anybody know anything about Star Power? Skywax, Wayru. Hey, Grumpy still has, for the last month, a Wayru device in his closet that he has still not finished setting up yet. Cybercharge, that's a new one. Nadix. So that's some new. So my point is, all these people are in the same boat. Quake Core. I'm trying to think which ones I'm not familiar with. Quake Core, Star Power, Cybercharge are the ones I'm not familiar with. I know some of y'all in Rover. How y'all like Rover so far? I've had some people come back and give me some good reviews on Rover so far. So if any of y'all are in that. Bjorn the Bullish Bear is using some fancy words that I always joke about my failed college math, but now you're going to make me fail college words. The confusing and the impressive is the GmbH. This is the German. In Switzerland, it is SARL, as I know. I don't know. Star Power is just sharing your solar 15,000 for 15 kilowatt hours. Star Power is just that's not. It's just a smart plug that tracks power. I like Rover, mapped over 10,000 miles. Well, I think it's the Star Power. Star Power similar to Sourceful. I keep talking about another project that I want to look into, on top of my list of everything else, is I keep talking about Sourceful. These guys, not being a pain in the butt, but they've contacted me several times saying, hey man, if you want to update, if you want to talk about stuff, gives you deeper insights and greater control of your energy production usage, solar, home battery. So I don't know if they are somewhat similar to that. Ooh, I cringe every time I see a rack miner now. Good helium depression. I hear some people talking about it, positive, very positive about them. I just haven't had a chance to. So I don't know. Star Power, same as Arcade. I'm going to Master Rover until Midsummer. Oh, like an LLC. All right. So I'm familiar with LLCs and C Corps and stuff like that. Thank you, Bjorn. Oh, no, it's B13. I saw B13 cleared me up on that. Tell you, I had my eyes on several projects, but family and life happens. I got a son that's graduating high school, trying to get him prepared to move to college, and daughter's playing softball right now and had arm surgery, and it's just like I had to get that call from my wife, and it's just like you can't wait to check the mail tomorrow to see what's next. Oh, and then we got to do taxes. For those who don't know, in the United States, I still got to do taxes. I always do my taxes on April 14th, the day before, because even though I take out extra taxes out of my paycheck on my full-time job, which is thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, and my wife takes extra between my side business and crypto and some other things, I still owe. And I think that's ridiculous for a middle-class family, but it is what it is. So I don't do taxes early. Don't do them early at all. So it's always something. I think Rover's legit. I have not heard anything negative on Rover. I'll say that. And you know me, I find something negative on everything. I can say I've never heard anything. I haven't heard anything negative on Sourceful so far. I have not heard anything on Sourceful. Trying to actually throw me off. Explain the difference between Sourceful, Arcane, and Star Power. I wish I could. I can't. Maybe I'm hoping somebody else can come in here and kind of explain what Star Power, Arcane, Sourceful. I don't know. Thanks for a nod. Says what are taxes, brother? Don't worry. There'll be somebody knocking on your door shortly to explain to you what taxes are. I know. You like doing those miner setups in the middle of nowhere, off the grid miner setups. You might be setting one up somewhere you don't want to. Soarchain still trash. Yep. I was hoping by now that they would be fixing their issues as far as rewards. Now, not that I'm going to call any of my followers or friends, I hate to use the word liar, but incorrect or fibbing, but I had somebody who's telling me that his Soarchain being parked is still giving him 50 to something tokens a day. I don't know how that is, because I can tell you when I'm parked, I get 0.1, and I think it might end up being like, what, 1 an hour, 1 token an hour maybe, or something like that. 10 if I'm riding around. It's downright sad and horrible what that project has become. I'll say this again for the 200th time since that's happened. I have no problem with them taking away my tokens while I'm driving. I mean, while I'm parked. But to me, you have to increase the rewards of while you're driving. So driving to work this morning, my device wouldn't connect. I eventually connected it. Driving home, I got 5 tokens. That's right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 tokens for Soarchain, which the price is worth 0.008, which means for my drive home today, which was about a 30-minute ride, I got 4 cents. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 cents. Just like, you know, at least with Demo, I don't have to touch it. I say it every time. I got a friend who's giving me a Demo device, just giving it to me because he don't want it. I don't understand it. Listen, understand, you know, we have DEPIN projects, and people, you know, they want people dedicated to DEPIN projects. And there's this balance between passive income or working for free or supporting the project. You'll get arguments from all sides of it. I'm not expecting Lambos in any of these projects. I did a whole video on this. Yes, helium might have spoiled us. We all know what people are making with helium. I did a whole video on the guy in Baton Rouge who had, after a year on helium, had over $1 million worth of tokens when he was still the tokens were only like $16 a piece. You know, I made 5,000 in 17 days in ROI with helium. Those days are long gone over with. I mean, you can't even do that these days in meme coins, barely. So I'm not expecting Lambos, but just tickle me a little bit, make it worth my while. I mean, you know, try to justify myself to make, you know, $30 a month. You know, right now, token prices in these alts are horribly low. Could we see more low stuff? I don't know. Y'all don't come here for the analysis part of it. But could we say that I don't mind making $30 a month right now? Because I don't sell any of these projects. I tell y'all, I don't sell any of them. Grass, I sold a little bit right at the airdrop just so nobody calls me a liar. A little bit. The rest of it I staked. I got to do another video on grass. I got people asking me about videos on grass. But I don't sell, and I'm not going to sell when these token prices are what they are. But my point is, I'd like to at least make $1 a day. For $1 a day, you can feed a needy, if y'all remember them commercials. Because then what you hope is that even at $1 a day for $30 a month, you hope that as the token goes up and you're holding on to those tokens, maybe you stake, because a lot of these projects I'm staking, and you hope that that goes up to $2 a month, $3 a month. Well, $3 a month, now you're looking at $100 almost. You know, that's just my opinion. You know, I'll still say my biggest fear for Wingbits, because y'all know I'm 100% into that project and dedicated to that project, even though I don't work for them or nothing like that. But that's just my, you know, I get attached to these projects and I just ride them. And while you're going to have people like me who are going to do not financial advice, we don't know what the future is, but we'll probably do fairly well because I'm making 1,000 tokens a day. Again, I have 14 stations. Or you have your guy down in, was it Jamaica or San Juan or something like that, who's making 1,500 a day. Well, even the token price is low, we can be doing good. But we got people out there who are making 0.9 because they didn't look at the map first, didn't follow any of Grumpy's videos that said, hey, before you buy Wingbits, look at this video and go look at the map and see what the map's got. I mean, Dora the Explorer talked about the map all the time. I had to hear that song 1,000 times when my kids were small. I don't know how you don't go look and say, Grumpy's got the South cornered. Oh, I know. I'll go buy a station and put it here or here or here or here. This is on building rooftops. This is on my friend's 400-foot tower. This is over here is on my friend's other friends 200-foot tower. It's good to know friends with towers. This is out here in the middle of nowhere, but ocean. What you think you're gonna make here? You go and you put this up. I know I talk about this every week, but every week this continues to come up and people keep getting upset. So I feel bad. So I keep trying to educate them. Even though majority of y'all here already know all this, maybe somebody watches this tomorrow who's interested in getting one of these devices. Don't go put a device. Don't say, hey, you know what? I live right here and this space is open. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because when you look at what some of these are making, this is making 40 a day, which for this area is probably not that bad. Let's see what this one's doing. This one's doing 5 a day. There you go. The person making 5 a day, this guy's going to be in Discord claiming this project is, you know what? Here's 10 a day. Now you got to remember, these people are making 10 a day right now. Here's 2 a day. Before all these devices go online, this is going to be bad. This is going to be a slaughter. Where else? What else we got here? Dallas is even worse. Was Dallas where it was before? Yeah, Dallas where it was before. Then Houston. So my point is, I know this is beating a dead horse. Hit the like button if you agree that people need to look at the. Yeah, that's one of them games from other YouTubes I found too. Hit the like button if you think people need to check the map before they buy a new station. Look at, I forget who, is it 619? Is that who brings up Los Angeles all the time? I got a buddy in, he runs the radio system all through here. Beverly Hills, Burbank, Glendale, and he lives up in here. And he actually has an RF site. I don't want to give too much away. I don't want to get him in trouble, but he has a tower on one of these areas. He's actually has antenna stuff on the Hollywood. If y'all ever see the Hollywood sign in the movies and it has all those antennas and dishes. Yeah. One of those is his. I tell you, it's good to know people in RF when you do projects like this. I begged him to put a helium stuff thing in. Begged him to put helium up. He wouldn't do it. Then I tried to get them to do the project we don't discuss anymore, and then even Wingbits. But now you look at it, and I would have burned a favor for him for what? This is holy smokes. 2, 3, 4, 6. Dude, I feel sorry. I do feel sorry for these people who came in early. But I will say this also. Again, if any of these people are watching, I apologize. You know, maybe I need to start selling time for consulting or something. But at least this one here has hexes over the water. If you have a station that like this and you're getting 1 hex over the water, I question that setup. I question it. You next to the water. You should be way out here. You should be 6 or 7 hexes deep into the water. This is my water. I was getting this 10 feet off the ground with an antenna. Now it's about 25 to 30 feet maybe off the ground. You know, you're 1, 2, 3, 4 hexes deep. You should be seeing this over there. I got a whole 8th of the United States covered up. You know, I did a video a while back about max, like this right here. Again, if you were on this video, I'm sorry. But this person, whoever this is, better not go into Discord crying about rewards. This antenna is either in this house or he's using one of those PCB board Amazon antennas. that's, I don't, you know, they come around chug water, wide open, wide open. You get one of 619's off grids, and you're brave to put your jacket on and stick one up somewhere around here. See that this has to be terrain. I don't know what kind of terrain they got up here, but you got two stations by themselves. And pour this. But you know, the new tokenomics is supposed to, if you've been there for a while, and somehow if you have a better setup, you should be able to, this is one token, you should get some better rewards. Whatever island this is, oh my goodness. You'll know I always like my favorite island over here that I always bring up. Now this poor guy is cringing. This poor guy hopes that there's another shipping delay. Now see, he's lost a little rewards. He was at over 1,000, but still, you look at what he's at. I wonder if these got improved. So I know I'm losing some of y'all. I can get wrapped up into this and just start looking at this and TAR 1090 screens over and over and over. Contact Chugwater Mayor, make a deal with the city. But what am I going to offer him? I got a host that's retired, and he sit there and he's military. So a lot of and I don't want to say which location it is, but his TAR 1090 picks up the base where he worked at. And a lot of his military stuff has, and apparently not doing nothing covert, but my poor crab and corn biscuits is freezing cold now. Anyway, apparently they run ADSB because he sits there and just watches these planes take off and circle over his house and the helicopters, and he just sits there and watches TAR 1090 all day. Because that's how I know my station's down, because he tells me. I don't know what I would offer. And when you only have 7 streets, you know, and if I even thought about putting, like my side business, I do Facebook ads and stuff. You do a Facebook ad for Chugwater. It says, hey, if anybody's in the crypto, contact me. I got a deal for you. Hell, at this point, I'll give them 90% of the rewards just so I can say I finally conquered Chugwater. But if anybody saw that ad, they would think it's a scam anyway. And look, when I search Chugwater on Facebook and social media, when I see what kind of hoedowns are going on at night, if you know what that means in the cowboy world, in the country world, I might be wrong to stereotype, but I think crypto's way over their head. That's just what I'm thinking. Lots of Senator candidates free. Now, again, I haven't visited Senate of Canada, so I don't know. In my time, I have visited British Columbia, Canada, and Ontario, and all the stuff over here in National Falls, but I have never visited here. I don't know if this is all woods, all frozen tundra. If I don't know what any of this is. To say, you know, I don't know if there's streets, if there's, yeah, it don't look like there's gonna be much to be able to, you know. But if this is all the same person, tell you, I can sit there and analyze this. I know I'm probably losing a lot of y'all. I can sit there and probably analyze this stuff and just, you know, it is what it is. Oh, Silas says, whoa, whoa, whoa. What's wrong, man? Am I enticing people to put something up in your spot? Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all my rate, but first let me preface it by saying this. My rate is not the normal going rate. I base my rate off of different things. My base rate, and you gotta remember, I'm using this also for YouTube, so I can say I'm the Gestapo of the Gulf. so I can say I cover the United States. My host station ain't really to make me money. It's for that I can come on here. And at one of my asks from Wingbits is, and I tell Axie this all the time, is at one point you could just see all the grids you covered in the entire United States. I'm almost sure I could see that at one point. You can't see that. So some of my host stations I have signed up. They're friends of mine, like Corpus Christi. I'm trying to get him into crypto and that kind of stuff. We have a 50-50 deal. 50-50 deal. He has a good rewarding station. My station in Idaho is a 50-50 deal. It's a very, very good rewarding station. Even though some people have encroached on Corpus Christi, I have a 50-50 deal with them. We're still doing very well in the tokens. Maybe 100 a day, somewhere around there on both of them. My Florida station is poor horrible. That's an older guy. I don't think he really knew too much about it. He had an antenna up there that he swore was a 1090 antenna, but he never had ADS-B before, so why would he have a 1090 antenna up there? I really think it's a 915 megahertz antenna, but I wanted that side of the Gulf covered so I can be the Gestapo of the Gulf. So I made a 50-50 deal with him, but when I saw that we were getting like 4 tokens a day, and he's always asking, I'm going to tell you, if Wingbits fails to put tokens in testnet wallets, he knows it. So he don't know this, but I bumped him up to like 85% cut because I'm getting 1,000 myself a day and his station's getting 4 a day. If I give him 3 out of the 4, I ain't noticing it. It all matters how bad I want stations and stuff. What's cool about it is with me having 14 stations and they're all DIY stations, I can move them. You can move those stations as long as the hex you're moving to is open. You can move those stations. You can't be offline for more than so many days and percentage and stuff like that. But you know, depending on how bad I want to get to a station, get to an area, I'm willing to do 50-50. You know, I saw some people when they asked me that on the Facebook group, they thought that was blasphemy. Man, I got 14 stations. I got another group of buddies that I told y'all I bought all them helium devices with years ago, and we have like 10 stations, 7 to 8 stations on our own now. Well, it was like 7 or 8 helium devices. And 2 or 3 of them, you know, to get the bucket, whatever you want to call it, kick the bucket. So I have like 5 or 6 stations with them surrounded in the Gulf Coast, and we split all that 3 ways. So I got those coming in too. So you know what? I'm not worried about what I'm making with host and that kind of stuff, depending on where it's at and how bad I want that position. See, 619 says, I know it's my hired mapper driver driving a lot, so I bumped up her share. I'm going to tell you, host locations have been a blessing and a curse. I've come on here before and say I wouldn't do any more, but if the right person called me from Chugwater, I would do it tomorrow. Next day, air them a device. Some, like the guy who watches his TAR 1090 screen, knows that if it's locked up and ain't doing something, they go reboot it, and he stays kind of on top of it. You got another one that when I tell him there's something wrong with it, he just started dating again. He went through, it's the guy I hunt with, and he went through a nasty divorce. The old lady did something. Hey, that's not my business. It's supposed not to be telling everybody on YouTube, but anyway, because y'all know who he is. But finally, after about 2 years, 3 years, he finally started dating again. Well, when I tell him the device is offline, it might get power cycled in the next 2 weeks. There's no obligation to him. And that's kind of some of the pain in the butt part. Missouri guy was holding on to my station forever. And I just got it back from him. And he swore he was all into crypto and swore he was doing all this stuff and he's going to put my station up and all this stuff. And I shipped him a station. And then it was going to his Airbnb because it was a bigger house. Roof, it was an easy roof install with a 10-foot pipe, and it was almost on this hill in Missouri. So it was above all the trees. It was heartbreaking because it would have been a great place to put it. He contacts me, hey, I sold the Airbnb. What? Yep, I shipping everything back to you. Hey, that's You know, and everybody's like, you need to put them in contracts. What's contracts going to do? We're not making any money right now. And then I told them they were making 50-50. And then, you know, Wingbits comes out with, we're going to be paying y'all over the next, you know, first they said 12 months. Then they mentioned something about maybe 6 months or something like that. Oh, you know, the airdrop. And you're like, well, now I got to try to explain. First of all, they don't barely know anything about crypto. They took this on good faith that, hey, eventually it's going to start, you know, and back then last year, I'm telling them by the end of the year, you should start getting paid. Now we're into March. And I'm trying to explain to them, like, this is just what new projects do. I'm sure they think I'm screwing them over. Even though they all got their own Solana wallets. You know, I don't know. 619, that's 619 says one thing that sucks about off-grid, you got to make sure it works because going to fix it is a pain in the butt. Brother, that's not off-grid. That's just this station. I have to go to this station, the one I told y'all that I have in Grand Isle. I have to go back to this station because it's having some kind of issues. We don't know if it's, you know, internet issues or something, but it's having some issues. Dude, this is a 2.5, because it's all 2-lane highway from my 2-lane, you know, 1 lane each direction highway, basically from where I live at to where this is. Down through the swamps, over the bridge. If y'all ever seen any of my videos, I've did more videos on Grand Isle than any other one location, especially on my other YouTube channel for the Grumpy Dad Outdoors when I do fishing and ham radio stuff. This is a hell of a ride. You got to go through a road here, that the road comes all the way through here, and it sucks that I'm gonna have to go. This is a all day affair. And look, I can leave here at 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning to go down here. And this is at my friend's, this ain't at no off-grid type thing. This is at my friend's hunting fishing camp. And that's a hell of a ride. My buddy who wants to set one up in Mississippi over here somewhere. This is a 3, let's see, hour. This is a 3-hour ride. Same thing. So if anything goes wrong, it's 3 hours. I got my other station down here, 3-hour ride, 2 hours maybe. I got a ham buddy that wanted me to put one around here, but while this looks open, by the time you start clicking on these hexes, it ain't really. Oh, look, I'm not even showing y'all the map. So my buddy that lives right up in here, it kind of looks open, but by the time you click on these hexes, what I need that for? You know, the station that was right here. As you can see, what I was getting before. And then my buddy says, hey, so-and-so told me you put an antenna up, or you put a device on his tower. I'm letting you know, I got a spot about 175 or 180 foot up on, if you saw my Twitter, I posted a picture of the Twitter of it. What he says, hey, guy, consolidate everything to an antenna higher up. I got a feed line open. I have nobody that wants it. You're welcome to put something there until somebody wants it. Sure. Oh, hell yeah. I'm dropping what I'm doing. This went from 7 or 8 hexes to all these hexes. Look at the points difference. My point I'm getting at is, yes, now I went from 0.5 and 0.3. Make sure y'all pay attention to this. I know I'm losing some of y'all, but this has a point. And I jumped to 93. The problem is when you start looking at some of my other stations, those stations went down. So that's also why there's a part of me that every now and then I don't mind moving some stations out to other locations with other hosts somewhere. Chug water. My dad does a lot of elk hunting in New Mexico. I'm trying to work that angle. They just don't want nothing to do with crypto. You know, my point is I would love to be able to move some of my stations out of here. You know, but is there a give and a take? Is there a give and a take though? Because I'm going to move some of my stations out of here to other host locations. When I go back to Missouri hunting, I'm working another angle I have possibly in Missouri. So this hex is coming off. But you see how this hex right here would have been so great because there was nothing else around it. When I go back to my hunting lease, and they just got destroyed with tornadoes and stuff, but I'm planning on working on an angle here. But when I move a station out, yes, it should help me out, but am I also going to help out? You see my balance I'm making? Am I helping out the other people that are there? That's the question I can't answer. Like, I don't know if me adding a station here, yes, I'm getting 90 extra tokens now. Okay. I'm sure I also hurt some other people out there. If I take this station away, I'm not getting all these. Some people might get them too. You see how deep you can get with this Wingbit station when you have multiple stations. You know, antenna space. I had a buddy talk to me today because he's trying to get a Ubiquity. If y'all familiar with the little Ubiquity square grids or whatever for microwave shot, $500 a month for a Ubiquity square grid that had basically no wind load. I would say it's probably, if you would take four Wingbits boxes. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 Wingbits boxes, maybe. Square grid, $500 a month is what and the problem is finding people that individually own towers and do towers, stuff like that, is getting more and more rare. I just got lucky. And to be honest with you, these guys manage the towers, but it's whatever they do and negotiate. They manage the towers for these owners. And that's why I just got lucky that the 2 towers that I happen to be on happen to have empty feed lines. Those people took those antennas back so they could use them for something else. The antennas are expensive. And my buddies have both said it's a handshake agreement that says, hey, tomorrow if somebody calls saying they want to put something there on that site at that height, they're going to be a paying customer, and Grumpy's losing it. And that's just the 400-foot tower site, which is my best by far site, you know, that gets great coverage. Every time my friend calls me, usually he's calling about, I help him with a lot of stuff. I help him in a lot of networking at these towers that I do myself, and some shots that he has in between their microwave shots. So it's a give and take. I'm doing some stuff for him too, but you know, yeah, I'm making, and this is where I put that AirSpy Mini at, but you know, I'm making 250, almost 300 a day here on this one site. And every time he calls, I cringe that, hey, he's going to tell me, so-and-so wants to come in. I got so-and-so company wants to come in and put a DB220 VHF antenna up there. They need the height, brother. I'm sorry to tell you, it is what it is. I'm not paying for what they're going to pay, because that antenna, we had 2 antennas and 2 microwave shots on a tower that was for work that was owned by American Tower. We were paying $5,000. That's $5,000 a month. So I used to chuckle, not that I was the know-it-all, but I used to chuckle when I would argue with these people on the Helium Facebooks about, yeah, there's a tower right down the street. I'm getting me a tower space. First of all, you have to sign a contract. So you can't go and get 3 months and then say, okay, Helium rewards have gone down, I'm getting out. You're signing up, and then you're putting deposit down also. So, and then they have to give you permission to get back on this, get to the site if you ever want to take that stuff down. I had a buddy years ago, he don't do it now, but for Nextel and whoever it was after that, who would build towers. He would know Sprint, Nextel, AT&T, Verizon would contact them and say, hey, you see this portion of Interstate 10 in this area, little town? We all need a tower there. He was an independent tower builder, but he called it's vertical real estate, vertical condominiums. He knew what kind of heights they all wanted, and he'd build with some extra space for microwaves and for dishes and stuff. And it was vertical real estate because of the amount of money he was making. the reason I talk about me moving is because as I improve coverage at some of these spots, I'm also pulling from myself. That 400-foot tower was getting close to 300 tokens when my Grand Isle station was laying on the ground in between when my buddy was moving out of his old fishing camp and into this new one. I wanted to keep the station running because Wingbits had a minimum of how long it had to be stationed, and I was getting like 10 wings a day while it was laying down sideways. My tower was getting over 300, and that was before I put the AirSpy Mini. When I put the Grand Isle station back up, yes, that went from 10 to 150 or 200, but my tower site went from 300 and something down to 175, and then I put the AirSpy Mini on it, and that improved it to almost 200 or whatever we just saw it. But my point is, you're also kind of hurting yourself too. So I know 619. You were the one that they had this huge article on in public safety and homeland security and all these places that made the news. Was it California or Nevada or something where some hikers came across this weird box with all these antennas sticking out of it, and for weeks nobody knew what it was and stuff like that, while everybody in the helium world was chuckling because we knew exactly what it was, but they couldn't tell. There was a big news article on that, on how nobody knew what this box was, and it was an off-air, off-grid, whatever you want to call it, setup. Static says, shoot me a message if you want to send some to the Panhandle. I want to send myself to the Panhandle because Fort Walton Beach and Destin were my favorite places to go. I used to go there every year for vacation. Every year of my life, for like until about 3 years ago. I got too fat for the beach and started scaring small children when they saw this fat person on the beach. See the Panhandle now, if you're up in here, we can talk, but again, Pensacola, Navarre, Fort Walton, my condo I used to stay in there. Got some great fishing right here. There's a fort right here. That was the fort here. Yeah, Fort Pickens. Great fishing. Catch some great bull reds right here. It's right next to the Gulf. If you got this tide running just right with some cracked crab, oh man. So the condo I used to stay in was right here. Navarre and Fort Walton Beach. Destin, that's where all the scuba diving was. They got some good scuba diving spots out here. But again, guys got some good coverage. And if I go and set up around Tallahatchie or Apalachicola, I might start stepping on, I know Axie's somewhere in one of these states, because he always talks about East Coast. So I don't know if he's somewhere up in here, Columbia, somewhere. I know he's East Coast. Somebody else talks about West Coast. I got the South. But Axie was one of the first ones when we first started with Wingbits. He had this whole East Coast side right here set up. I had this whole South. Somebody else was up here. It might have been somebody here. That was it. Oh, B13. Check out your area. Beijing, China set up getting 5,000 a week. See, Static, you're in Pensacola, but that's somewhere up in here is also where Bit Harvest guy is. And I don't know if one of his stations are up in here, because I know he runs Wingbits on his Bit Harvest device. Source code. Don't know. I have 5 different hexes you're trying to fill. Yeah, but if you got stations, you don't want me to go put another station out there. Where you at? Pensacola, Gulf Shores. See, I always think Gulf Shores has a bigger gap. So I have a buddy in Orange Beach who owns a car wash. He's the same buddy that I have the 4 or 5 stations with here. And this is one of his stations. And he has a beach house up in here. He wants me to put a station at, which is be right on the beach. So of course, I have to do that. But he also wants me to put one on his car wash out here. And I just don't know, like, y'all see how this could be. Like, but again, I want y'all to see something. I want you to see how I basically hijacked this YouTube live to sit here and try to figure this out. If you had more people doing that, then you wouldn't have certain people crying on YouTube all the time about people are stepping, onto me. I ran a Helium, Louisiana page, and we've talked about the previous project that don't exist no more, and a little bit about Wingbits, but nobody's talking about that. Look, I know I think I just hit 27,000, 28,000 subscribers, but still, last I checked, especially if you're in Louisiana, if you Google Wingbits or YouTube, my stuff comes up. How do you go? How do you go and do research? I guess this is why I hit on this so much is, like, what possesses you to come? And this is all flatland marsh. This is going to be some houses with wood. This is going to be a lot of woods and stuff. I don't understand what makes people think that. Are they just because the project ain't paying out? And again, if you watch my videos, I tell everybody, every one of my videos, before you decide to jump into this, come check the map. Now, I'm hoping my son can get he's going to college up here somewhere. I ain't going to tell y'all exactly where because I don't have to worry about that. But he's going to college up here somewhere. I'm hoping that he gets a top level apartment dorm room because I might have to eat a little crow, and actually might love to hear this, but he might have to run a Wingbits antenna out of his window to help support his food eating stuff. They're in it for the tech. Yeah, okay. Being chance of getting let me too, bro. I feel good, but I see some reserve in Santa Barbara, another spot. Those are high mountains. You just gotta get to the highest mountain. So got a good group. We had 20 people here at one point. Shreveport is your territory. All right, man. So my son gets in any issues, I'm gonna tell him to come find you. I see a station reserved in Shreveport. See, I got something else that's in southern Arkansas. I really don't want to throw nothing else up around there. I got Louisiana cornered. I really need to find somebody in this part of the United States. And I don't know how to reach out to them. I don't know how to reach out to this area. This is like still the vast unknown, like when they were trying to settle the United States. As far as anywhere else is going, let me tell you something else that's starting to pop a little bit. I've been helping them out. My boys in Africa. I'm telling you, I have been doing some remote stuff. And look, it's not easy because when I'm trying to work on that stuff and ask them questions, they're trying to sleep. And then they wake up and ask me questions and I'm trying to sleep. But I've been helping these guys out. And look at that, man. 1,200 a day. 1,200 a day, 1,200 a day. 1,170, 1,100, 1,200 a day. I told this dude to get the antenna in the SDR. He got it from Pie Hut in like 2 days to Africa. Must be having problems with this one. And then he had another one somewhere. One of these islands up here. This one. He's doing pretty well. Daniel, y'all know Daniel. I've been helping Daniel for a while now. He had Nairobi. somebody came and stepped on him. I mean, of all places, you're in Nairobi, Africa, and you got to worry about people come step on you. And one of these, somebody stepping on him. Like, just think. So he moved this to Bondo, and he's getting 200 with hardly. I mean, that's not a lot of hexes. And I gotta give it. Daniel might be the Gestapo of the East Coast of Africa. I mean, he's getting some rewards, man. 4,500. So, you know, that's what's good about this is even like here, this goes to show you find a place that's wide open. This guy's got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 hexes and making almost 200. It's crazy. Well, we might as well just call this the Wingbits Live. So, I must have said something wrong. I'm in trouble. Actually wants me to go check his private island that he purchased. Oh, this is the one. Was it 619 brought this one up? Wow. 2,000. Almost 2,000. 15, 14, 113. That's crazy, dude. 1.5 million data points. I don't even want to count. That's, you know, this is almost what this guy was doing. So his ain't going down that far. But I always said, I'd love to know what these guys' setups are. I would like to know if they're legitimate setups, which I have no reason. Now you look at this one. This guy must have this inside of mama's basement or daddy's tool shed or something, because you're not even covering your own hex. See, but in the interested side to learn and to teach people, I want to know what his setup is. Oh man, I'm not even showing you all on the freaking screen. I hate lives. I'm sorry. So this is the one I was talking about that actually showed me 1,000, 1,500. This is a hell of a setup. Hell of a setup. I'd love to know what this setup is. I mean, he's getting here. I don't know what kind of landscape this is, height or anything like that. But then what I'm trying to show y'all is you click on this one and he's not even covering his own hex at 0.06 a day, 0.7 a day. For learning and teaching purposes, I'd love to know what his setup is too. So I can say, this is how you do it. This is how you don't do it. That's crazy. Now, here you go. This guy's a good thing because he's shaded to the west. Which is where this guy gets weaker at. So it kind of works out. I'm telling you right now, if you can set up near water, that's some good stuff. My tower the other day. What is crazy is how much some of this varies. Like, I don't know who stationed that. One of these was hitting. I was hitting Disney World the other day. And I meant to copy it and I forgot. And that's a 500-mile shot. But it also shows you, for those who aren't familiar with RF, with topography, with different types of skip or whatever you want to call it, that with different kind of weather patterns, what the range you get today might not be the range you get tomorrow. The weather in between there. But yeah. I think 619. What couple stars are left? Or zone the station? Did I click on that one? I don't know. But like I said, we could be stuck doing this for another hour on live. The guy's probably working on the station locally inside, then sends it back. Again, I don't know what the topography's like to say that he could be smack between two mountains and stuff like that. I mean, you know they got mountains and stuff up in here because we always see the hurricanes get broken up and stuff when they cross that. Kyle Carver says mine will be 2 miles line of sight from airport. Actually knows I've been asking him, and I even asked Robin in the last AMA. They had discussed about once they get these basic tokenomics tweaked and figured out or whatever like that, they are looking at possible. I mean, I don't want to talk for them, so I don't want to actually send me no more evil PMs or nothing. But they have mentioned that some of their prime real estate of what their customers are looking for is, I want to say it's 1,000 feet less, or 10,000 feet down, or 1,000 feet less, or 5,000, or something like that. You know, what's going on at airports and what's going on on tarmacs and runways, and how long is it taking to get to the how long does it take to get to the gates and stuff like that. And so what I'm getting at is that they was planning on also doing something, tweaking the tokenomics just a little bit, so that if you were covering those areas that certain altitude, you would also get like a little added bonus. You know, I always bring this site up right here. This is my friend's 400-foot tower. This is 15 miles from New Orleans International Airport. With this one, I can cover the runways and tarmacs and watch people take off and stuff like that. Normally there's 7 to 8 planes right here. I have stations, or my friends have stations closer than what my tower is that can't catch this. But my buddy, who was forced kind of out of a hex because we had 2-in-1 hex at one point, I'm installing the station, one of these streets. I forget which one it is. But my buddy's dad has a warehouse right here. Or his buddy's dad has a warehouse right here. This is like the ground road and the runway. It don't get no closer than that. So we'll see, we will see. Yeah, coverage is low today. But again, also my stations every 24 hours have a cron job, and they automatically reboot every 24 hours. So what you see in the blue line right now has been since the last update. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button, please. While we're all sitting around and my food's getting cold, and we've been going this for 2 hours. So it actually says to 619, only one of those stations has a geosonar. Very interesting. Very interesting. Curious to know when that cutoff comes, what's going to happen. Yeah, actually says I wasn't showing the screen. So I don't, for somebody who's into IT and networking and all stuff like this, maybe it's because of my age, but all these hacking people are doing, whether it's this one or Silencio or Soarchain or Nadix and whatever other ones, I have no idea how to do that stuff. Like, how are people, I know they got some kind of GPS app or some kind of thing, because I've had somebody offer it to me one time. I'm like, dude, if I get that desperate, just cut me out now of the project. But they're using all these different hacks to get stuff. I wouldn't know the first step. I'm sure if I Google how to hack Wingbits, it ain't gonna pop up. I guess I just don't have that imagination for all that. I don't. Like I said, I know I'm not getting Lambos from Wingbits. Not financial advice. It's funny how I say not financial advice when I want to overpromise, but underpromise. But you know, we don't know if you know, I'm not expecting Lambos from Wingbits, nor do I want a Lambo, because I've always said that I can't fit in a Lambo. But what my hope was that being in enough projects, it would equal Lambo type stuff. I'm in, I think if you watch my video, I'm in 14 or 15 different projects, plus 2 more waiting to go to mainnet. Plus, if I ever can get off my butt in time and license money to figure out how to get Wayru set up on licenses, I'd have Wayru set up and looking in the Soarchain and not Soarchain, Sourceful, and whatever else other project people keep telling me about. I would hope that all this would head up. That is honestly my hope. Hell, if Crow gets back to $1, I'm paying off a car. I tell everybody that. I'm using my Crow card. My buddy the other day had a Crow card, never used it. I said, look at this. I showed him my phone. This is my balance. I got like 29,000 Crow. I started with 4,500 because that's what you needed to get the dark blue card at the time, because it was like 80 something cents. I went from 4,500 to almost 30,000 Crow, and I'm staking all of it. Let it get back to $1, and I can pay the rest of my son's truck off. Hey, it's not Lambo money, but you know what? If I ain't got to pay that couple of $100 truck note every month, it frees it up. And that is my goal through all this. I don't know what y'all's goals are. I hope y'all have goals and figure it out and that kind of stuff like that. But it is what it is. 619, that is about the most accurate thing you have said tonight, is you become overwhelmed. And I had that a while back. Like, it ain't just the projects, is keeping up with 14 Wingbits DIY devices, because, or some of those devices that have bit harvest, so they're also running 6 and 7 projects at a time, or even Grass. I don't know what's going on with Grass. Grass is not running on my bit harvest devices, but it's also not running on my laptops or my computers. And I know there's several people complaining about that same thing, but it seems like every time I go and check, I don't check it every day. I check it every 2 or 3 days, but I go and check Grass, and the app on the screen on these computers, which I have to go remote into them with Tailscale, because again, they're not on my network, and they're waiting for an update. Even though I have auto update and auto start checked off, I go to the Grass dashboard and I'm supposed to have like 7 or 8 external IPs on there, and I got 2. You go to them, they're screwed up. So it ain't just the project. It's how many devices do you have in those projects? And I'll be honest with you, I'm so overwhelmed at work, I don't have time to go through all that. You know, I left my house this morning with Soarchain tethered to my phone. I get to work. At some point, it disconnected. Nadix on the screen. Nadix, I have it set up. Look, when I start I got a diesel truck, so I start my diesel truck right before I walk out my house. I let it warm up for about a minute or 2, and then I sit my you know, my kids make fun of me, but I sit in my driveway setting all this stuff up, setting up Nadix, Soarchain. Make sure 375 AI is running. Make sure Chirp KAGE is running before I leave to go to work for my 30-minute ride. Nadix, I have it set up. I get a quarter of the way to work. It still says zero readings. What the hell? It's happened a couple times before. So you force close it, start it up again when you're at the red light. You get halfway down the road, realize it still ain't doing it. You got to redo it a third time. Well, third time I finally started doing it. How much did I miss through that time? I'm stressed out before I even walk in the door and have my coffee at work at 8 a.m. I'm stressed out because just trying to keep the damn crypto projects running. It's crazy. B says, I have over 60 devices to keep online. God bless you. Kyle, I have Wayru set up on a TP link. On one of the TP link devices you can do yourself. My buddy's company was swapping all their TP links out. The for Wi-Fi 6 or Wi-Fi 7 or some stuff. I don't know. It's his business. I don't care. And he had them things that happened to be over there at the right time and saw him. I'm like, hey, you mind if I take 1 or 2 of those? He says, no, as long as you reset them. And he said, no, I'm throwing them away. So don't throw them away. So I have one set up where I burned Wayru's firmware onto the TP link. And right now, if you go on my phone and you search Wi-Fi, just to show you I'm not lying to y'all, it has Wayru on it. It's got junk coin also. But I'm going to try to cover up. Of course, it's going to mess up. Let me see if I can do this without giving away too much. It's got Wayru. But that's as far as I got. So it's online. But as far as going in the app and figuring out, because I've had multiple people tell me multiple things about getting a license and updating it through the app, or no, you have to go online. I don't know. That's when, sometimes I do how-to videos for me to how-to. I'm learning together with y'all. And I'm going to have to do a video on Wayru whenever I get that figured out. I don't know. To make someone grumpy. Yeah. Vapor operator password. That sounds like one of those things. That I don't need the password. My plan is I have Wayru running on, along with my grass and all that other stuff, on a separate VLAN, completely separate network than what I'm on right now. Excuse me. I'm planning on running my grass stuff and this other little knick-knack crypto stuff through Wayru to get a little bit of data going through that. They said it doesn't really matter that much. It's more about proof of connection, but just to connect a couple of things through it. And if it seems viable and seems whatever, then I'll throw one in at one of my offices where I have some crypto stuff at also, and I'll connect the crypto through that. That's kind of what my thing does. I don't know. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate everybody who stayed along as my crab bisque is ice cold now. I had some crackers in it, and that's all mushy. And it's time for a drink. One thing I did want to talk about real quick, I completely forgot, and I had it sitting here the whole time, is I've had a number of y'all ask me for it, even though I cringed and I didn't want to do it. A number of y'all asking me about a video just showing and discussing for the DIY Wingbits devices, discussing the AirSpy Minis. And I kind of said it again, I hate to keep repeating myself in these videos, but I just cringe because sometimes I do videos and then people go onto Discord and say, Grumpy said this. Grumpy said we need to do this. And I have the AirSpy Mini on my friend's 400-foot tower that also has an 1 5/8 inch. I'm telling you, it's as wide as your arm, 1 5/8 inch feed line. So you don't have to worry as much about loss. But I've also got to experiment with that with the cavity filters or SAW filter or LNA or a green SDR, blue SDR, or a black, the original that I started out with, the black SDR, because I have a buttload of these from ham stuff that I try giving away. Nobody even wants them. But before I got that AirSpy Mini in, I'm going to tell y'all, running that LNA I got in from eBay, from Amazon, and along with that cavity filter, this outperformed, because this is a much wider range, outperformed the blue or the green. Now, again, even with this and that, you're paying more than what the normal green or blue would cost. But with that AirSpy Mini, I had about a 25% increase in rewards, in messages, and aircraft. But again, that was on my 400-foot tower. I'm not that I want to go switch it out, but I'm a firm believer right now, though, that if I were to put that at my house right here, it would have made hardly any difference. And before somebody goes and spends $200 on that setup, I'd rather just see them buy the $50 blue or the green SDR and either get better feed line or buy the equipment to run PoE or buy a better antenna or put the effort into getting the antenna higher versus getting the AirSpy Mini. But people want a video on it, and I'm going to do a video on it. But what some people have told me that I had to try, that I just got in the mail today is they call it the purple filter SDR. And pictures are deceiving on how big this thing looks like on the AliExpress website. But this is from AliExpress. But I had a number of people who tell me, don't discount this $7 or $10 device, whatever it costs, from AliExpress compared to what that cavity filter, which costs $70 or $60, and that LNA, which costs $35 or whatever it was on Amazon. Don't discount this. So my plan is, just like I started with the AirSpy Mini is, I'm planning on taking this combination, because this combination right here is what I started with before I got the AirSpy Mini in. It had the cavity filter and the LNA along with this. I kind of know what those results were. And I'm going to set this up with this one, and I'm going to see what this does. Again, I had a number of people, when I started discussing the AirSpy Mini in the Discord, I had a number of people who told me to try the purple one. So here's the purple one, LNA. It has, I'm guessing that it is not bias T, because it says you have to put a USB, can't see it, power thing in it, but I'm going to try it out. It's $7. It was $10 with shipping. It took 2 weeks to get here from AliExpress, but you know, your yellow and red dongle. Man, it's a solid. This is metal, brother. It is. Actually, it's taking away my thunder. I was getting to that. I was gonna close out on that. But again, I'm gonna do my testing just because this is how I ran it for the first 2 or 3 days with this, with a black one in this, and then eventually I'm going to swap the LNA and the cavity filter at my 400-foot tower with this, and I'm gonna see. That tower is notorious for some horrible noise numbers. If y'all have seen any of my videos in the past, 400 feet, you're sucking in noise from all over the place. The parish where that is, we have parishes, not counties, their water meters on 915 megahertz. How helium did anything out there, I don't know. Apparently, it's got some fat spectrum or something, because I'm thinking that 1090 antenna at 400 feet is seeing that, and that's why I had to get cavity filter to begin with. I have on my Baton Rouge building top, I have a Wingbits station set up literally 5 feet, like from a Verizon cell phone sector, like same height, mounted on top of the building, and 5 feet, 6 feet, maybe 7 feet at the most is a Wingbits antenna, 1090 Wingbits antenna. And I don't have the noise there even close to what I have on that 400-foot tower. I think the noise on this is going to be crazy. That's what I believe. But people telling me to try it out for $7. I wasted money. You know, I am curious to see how this does with this, because after I'm done with that testing on that tower site, I'm going to go to another regular site that I have a green, or just wait for my next green to fail, because that happens monthly. And I'm going to put this combination on it. And I want to see what it does. That's part of the fun of all this is experimenting. Now, getting to what Axie said, if y'all are in the Wingbits Discord, Axie is seeing, this is his statement, and actually you can go to his post on Discord. He is seeing better results from his WB200 than his DIY station. And he's getting some better coverage, some better messages, and a better amount of aircraft. With, I believe, kind of almost an equal setup. I think he might have a 1 or 2 2x4s in front of the WB200, he said. And he is seeing better results from that WB200. It has a 3 dBi antenna on it. I'm gonna tell y'all, I tested when we started with the previous project. I tested, I'm not exaggerating, 10 or 15 different antennas. Some of the little homemade ones that I had to sit there and burn my fingertips as I soldered together. The little cone, goofy looking three-leg 1090 antenna, the PCB antenna, the one that kind of looks like the 5.5 using now, but it's a 3 dBi, but it was white, 3 point something dBi, 5s, 6s, and a 12. In the 5.5 that I recommend everybody now, despite what anybody wants to say what the specs should be, the 5.5 outperformed all of them. Even the 3s. But the 3 that Axie is saying is on this WB200 is outperforming his 5.5. So it has me intrigued. Again, if I can get a station there, and I can do my own testing, but that's very intriguing. It's good for you if you have the station. And like I told him, I said, that's good and bad. What you mean that's bad? Well, if one of those orange hexes comes up and has a WB200, he's gonna be stealing even more aircraft from you. That's true. So, but but just to see it perform, and I'm also wondering, because I don't know the inside information of exactly what LNA was being used before. And like I said, when they found some issues, they put a better improved LNA in there, and Hi-Fix ate the cost on it. But by them putting a new, better, more expensive amplifier in there, maybe that's why he's getting better results than what the normal SDR, green or blue SDR is getting. So, 5.5 from ADSB or the 5 from Signal Plus. I'm getting the ones from Amazon, and I'm gonna watch it for you'll see all my wife's history and how bad she's shopping at Amazon, and you might understand why. So this is a ADSB exchange, the one that I recommend to everybody. So and I purchased it more than 13 times, but I think what it is I also use some different accounts too. So it's the end connector on the bottom. It has this very important lady right here pointing at it, and that's very intent purposes looking at that. I know I also purchased at one point the Signal Plus. This is a black Signal Plus. If y'all ever saw my video with my sister who lives in the HOA that you're not allowed to have any antennas at all. And, of course she doesn't want to sit there and fight it because it's not that important to her, but, it works fairly well. Doesn't work as good as the other one, but it works fairly well. And at one point I ordered a white one too. So this is the ADSB flight aware one, and this one's a little bit shorter. This is the 12, and we've tested the 12. I've tested 12 when I was doing my testing, and then I had a buddy who has his own station that I called in the Wingbits, and he wants to know why his antenna is above his roof line, and he doesn't get hardly any of the results I get. The only difference, he has a green SDR, 10 feet of LMR 400 maybe, because he's in the ham stuff, and he's using the 12 dBi because in most of the stuff in helium or ham world, we wanted as much dBi as we can get. He didn't listen, and he got poor results. And at some point, here's the white one. I bought the white one to test out. This was complete trash, but it goes to show you that 5 dBi here and 5 dBi at another one and 5 dBi at another one makes a difference. So, to be fair, in another install test with a splitter on same 5 dBi, 10 of the WB 23010 was outperforming radar box by at least 10% well. Asala says he recommends the ADSB. I'm gonna tell you, I was also like the antennas. I'm still 100% content with, but for those who saw, at one time I was exclusively when the green ones were having this one, and because this is still only 2 days away, I was still getting this one. I started getting this SDR, and if y'all saw, I had one of these break completely off. I have a picture of it. All this had was 2 solder points underneath, and this broke off. When I went to install the, geosigner, and all I did was it was in a repeater case, and it was kind of set a little bit further back. All I did was kind of pull it forward. Like, I didn't yank it. I just kind of pulled it forward, and all of a sudden I said, boy, this is coming awfully easy. And all of a sudden I had the pie in my hand with no connector on the end, and the feed line was back there along with the little connector. And I took the whole thing apart because I tried, again, I have so many of these. I tried unsoldering this, and I was going to solder this on a new one, so on the one that broke, but it did not work out as planned. So if I have to replace it tomorrow, honestly, I'm getting one from FlightAware, and just having to wait a little bit longer, because FlightAware doesn't sell their SDRs through Amazon, even though they have some of their antennas for some reason. But I will tell you, I do find that this FlightAware works better than the ADSB exchange one, even though it's plastic, and some people don't want to hear that. Price is about the same on all these, but it does take an extra day or two. This is I think somebody mentioned the yellow one earlier, the red one. This one has the amp but no filter. And I'm trying to think what the red one was. Somebody mentioned about the red one. I don't know. Just rambling on. Anything ever happened from finding Santa? That is a question for Axie. I found Santa too, but I don't know. I didn't say no, it was trash. It was trash. I didn't say. All these SDRs I just showed you are still deployed right now on one of my 13 or 14 stations, and my friend stations, and my family member stations, and my other friend stations. They got a mix. It all matters. I can tell you right now, I have not bought a green SDR at all. It has been some time. Since I bought one of those, because the failure rate has been just too high. And again, I have a bunch of stations. That doesn't mean y'all are gonna have issues. Trying to see when the last green SDR was. I don't even see. This is the horrible antenna I was telling y'all about, that I've had people like, I've seen people recommend these on Discord and different places, and I'm like, what the hell are y'all talking about? I have one of these still set up today at my office for when I'm setting up stations to go out to either host or to friends or whatever. So I have this. at my office just as a quick way of hooking something up to make sure it all works. And that's it. And it gets less than a quarter of what, and it's outside, and it gets less than a quarter of what those other ones get. So that is, I wanted to show you all that one. But I'm trying to find I want to see when the last time I bought a green. Y'all got me intrigued. The green SDR. I will say this. The green SDR, by far, until the AirSpy Mini, I'm talking about when you keep it in this range, this was still November 7th of 2023. 14, 15 months. This is still, when it works, I will still put this one up against any of them. I've tested them all. I've hot swapped them all. Looked at readings after a day, 24 hours, 2 or 3 days. I know mileage will vary. Some of y'all might say another one's better. I'm just telling you, I have swapped it with this one, the blue one in the metal case, and the blue one in the plastic case. This one easily outperformed all three of them, easily. But every time there's a bad lightning storm, not just a regular lightning, bad lightning storm, I lose one. This thing can say ESD protection all it wants. Because the pole or wherever I have this at ain't getting struck with lightning, but it's always after some kind of bad lightning storm when I lose this. Or the power from the local power company gets turned off and back on. So I don't, even though I like them a lot, I don't purchase them no more. But that's just me. B, the King of Kings, I always called the King of Kings because I used to get, if there was one argument, I got into more helium discords and more helium Facebook groups that I modded. More arguments than any other thing I've ever gotten arguments about was about the layered 915 megahertz antenna. I think it was 8.1 dBi or something like that. And at one time I even memorized the model number. That's what I still have in all 17 of my helium devices, and I get some great range out of it. Can you use it? Absolutely. It's going to capture in the layered or even like a 5.5 dBi rack antenna for 915 megahertz helium will still do better than that PCB board Amazon 1090 antenna. It'll do better than that, but it ain't doing nothing close to what. And again, I had all these videos at 1.23 years ago, but I was forced to take them down because we were discussing another project. But it showed you, hey, this is what the layer did after 24 hours. And this is what this one did after 24 hours. And this one was so bad, we knew we could just go ahead and take it off now. And so will it work? If you only have, and that's what I used to tell people, if you only have the money to invest in a Pi in one of these, but you had a layered or any helium antenna sticking around, yeah, you can use that for a month or two until you get the money or you get the time to climb, or, you know, if you already had that antenna mounted up and you couldn't get up to it at any time soon, yeah, it'll work. It just won't be the bestest results. But if it does break, can it just be swapped out, or you got to reload firmware? You talking about on this radar, on that radar box, on this SDR? You talking about? This SDR is just hot swap. The only one that I ever had to do, any kind of script or anything on was that AirSpy Mini. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I would really like to do one more AirSpy Mini as a test on one of my Baton Rouge stations, because I have two different stations in Baton Rouge, both on building tops, and one is very close to the Baton Rouge International Airport. I would love to put an AirSpy on that because it does pretty good results already, but it's also on Bit Harvest, and I don't know, like on the Wingbits one, you go into your client, you go to client or whatever you want to call it, command, and you put in the script for the AirSpy Mini, and you got to go into nano and change one or two little codes or something like that, and then it's good to go. You can't do that in Bit Harvest. I don't know how that would work. So I don't know. Radar box to FlightAware is a hot swap. What I do though is I kill the power and then I swap it out and plug it back in. But there is no no kind of firmware or anything you need to change out for that. So LMR 400. I'm gonna tell you, majority of my stations are LMR 400, other than the two towers that I'm now on. It's 1 5/8, like I said, and for those who missed it, 1 5/8 is like the bottom of this cup. That's how wide that is. So, which even that 1 5/8, it's got some loss at 400 feet. And I want to say the tower that's at 175 or 200 feet, somewhere around there, has got about 1 inch. I want to say it's 1 1/4 feed line, which is still about the size of, a golf ball, maybe. But it's improvement. But on my other station, I got an LMR 400. What majority of them have is I have the little thin jumper that comes out my outdoor box to LMR 400. Then LMR 400 goes up to the tower. Then I got lightning protection, which is a little bit lost also, but I'm still putting lightning protection on almost all my outdoor installs. And that's either at the top or the bottom, wherever the closest I can get to ground. And but majority of them have LMR 400. And but again, we can discuss this stuff all night, but you also wonder, I have people ask me like, I'm running 20 feet of so-and-so cable. If I run LMR 400, is that going to be a huge improvement? I can't answer that. Me, I would do it with the understanding that if I get 3 more flights, I might not see an increase in wings. Or we had one guy that kept asking us over and over in the Discord, in the hardware, in the setup discussion channels about filters. I said, everybody try this filter for like, I'm not joking, like a month or two. And he started PMing me, and I'm like, dude, I'm not trying to be rude. It boils down to this. Looking at your numbers, you have high noise. I can't tell you if a SAW filter is going to help you or this other filter is going to help you. Cavity filter is going to help you. SAW filter is $10 or $15 on Amazon. Cavity filter is $75 or $55, $65, $75, whatever the Syscom one is from eBay or whatever, or whoever's got one. I can't tell you that's going to be worth it in rewards when you see it. You might clean up the noise and still say there's not enough flights out there to make it worth your while. Or you might clean up your noise and find a whole mess of messages that you were missing that's going to be really worth your while. And you can't ask people because you don't know what kind of setup they have. If it's in their mama's basement and they're getting noise from something internal, we've seen the USB, some of these USB things that ain't grounded right, the USB extensions absorb noise. We've seen all kinds of different things that absorb noise. You don't know if that cavity filter is going to help that or not. I'm sorry, I'm still getting over my cold or whatever I had. But some of us on here, you'll see a bunch of us on here talking that we want the best possible setup as possible, and we don't mind taking the chance that, hey, I might be paying for LMR 400. I might be paying for a Syscom or one of these other cavity filters. I might be paying a little bit more for an AirSpy Mini, but I'm setting up the best possible station I can, including setting it up at a prime spot outside my house, whether that's above the roof or, I see people talking about buying Roan ham antennas or towers and stuff for their backyard. But you're taking a chance that you could go through all that and not see, you could go through all that and get an increase, and then 3 days later, somebody new comes online and you're back to where you were before. You don't know. You don't know what this token's going to be worth to say, I went and spent $1,000 on putting the Roan tower in my backyard, and it's going to take me forever to ROI on that. You don't know. You don't know. 6 feet of KMR 240 is better than RG 58. Yes, absolutely. RG 58 is, you don't want to use it. Maybe as a little jumper to go for a foot, maybe. That's about the longest you want to run any of that. Prediction of Wingbits mainnet in end April. Well, I bet I actually saw that and said, all right, I got to go back to work. See you later. Look, we know that part of that was they wanted to be able to get geosigners all set up to be able to go through tokenomics, tweak the tokenomics, but also go through geosigners to see who might be possibly gaming, to take away those tokens, put them tokens back, whatever. You know, but there's been no official date. I've always asked for that inside scoop from Wingbits. Like I tell you, they're very tight-lipped about that. If I had to do a rough, grumpy guesstimate, I would have to think April. I think they know that everybody's been kind of patiently waiting. You don't have a lot of people complaining, but at one point they were talking about, if I'm not mistaken, don't quote me on this, I might be completely off my rocker here because it's been 2.5 hours we're streaming now. I want to say maybe at one time they were talking about like end of last year when they thought geosigners were coming in and they got delayed and stuff like that. So I know that they want to get to that point. But again, also, we've seen some very piss poor token releases lately. Silencio, Soarchain was horrible. You know, there's a part of me that I know that these guys have been concentrating a lot on what's going on in their project, especially with these high fixed devices, especially with geosigners and helping people. Like they just put a announcement out looking for additional help, answering tickets and doing stuff like that. So we know this, but you know, so how much have they been able to deal with tokenomics? I know they hired a guy who strictly deals with that kind of stuff that can run all these different algorithms and all these kind of like if y'all ever watched the Avengers, the last real Avengers movie with Doctor Strange when he's going through the million possibilities of what can happen. You know, this guy's running all these scenarios on what tokenomics would be and all stuff like that. They hired a guy strictly to deal with that. I give him props for that. But part of it is you want to make sure that they listen on some decent exchanges at token release. You don't want it to be just on MEXC or like Grass where you can't, or whatever website it is, project it was that you can only get to it with a VPN from what I'm told. You want it all to be set up too, but they've had technically enough time to get all that straight. So 420 mainnet, we're going to get high. Paul, I always joked about having a party here with party hats and dancing girls and all kinds of stuff like that and fireworks outside and stuff like that, you know, when we go to mainnet. But 420, you know, that could be a completely different kind of party. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate everybody who stuck around. You know, it's been 2 hours going. Maybe they start doing more of these lives since it's hard to. I hate only doing videos on Mondays and Thursdays. I'd much rather be bringing y'all videos the other days of the week. But I just sit back and I'm like, what is there really to talk about that I haven't beaten with a dead horse? Or, you know, Crow. I almost did a video last night on Crow. For those, I talked about crypto.com earlier. Crow decided that even though they were burning like, I don't know what it was, 70 billion tokens or 40 billion tokens or something like that. They decided that, oh, we lied to y'all, they're not burned, and we're going to slowly bring those 70 billion back. What? Like, what? What the? Like, I wanted to put a video that said CROWTF. Don't tell me something's burned and y'all burn tokens and all of a sudden, y'all bringing these tokens back? What the? Like, 70 billion. Yeah, my Crow's never going back to $1. But it, you know, calm down. It ain't that bad. We're doing it the strategic way. I don't care. Don't tell me something burned. Burned means burned, not temporarily in this closet. So you know, B, I'm talking about Crow, CRO, the Crow token with Crow, like crypto.com with the card that you can use and that kind of stuff like that. That if you're asking me that question. I actually has to go back to work, so I guess we're done. Oh, I did. Thanks for 619 reminded me. If there happens to be anybody who is into crypto, I mean, I'm sorry. Of course you're into crypto. Anybody who is into ham related stuff. A lot of y'all know Fluffy from the Helium days, and he's also, at least he's supposed to be, a mod with me on the DEPIN Facebook page. Finally, after I've been trying to convince him of this for several months, he has finally started selling his ham antennas that he makes. And I use these when I do, if any of y'all saw my other videos on my other YouTube page, Grumpy Dad Outdoors, and now I had to start a Grumpy Dad ham page because the algorithm was killing me on the outdoors page. He decided to start doing, I use his antennas when I'm outdoors, and they work probably, I'm not saying this because he's my friend. I don't know how he does it. It tunes on almost every frequency, which is unheard of in the ham world. It's a wire, end-fed half wave, and it is phenomenal. And I can talk 7,000-8,000 miles away, Australia, into Greece, because I always try to hit Greece because that's where my family's immigrated from, was Greece. And that's my bucket list with my crypto money, is to go back to Greece and go check that out. But anyway, he has come out with the tree frog antenna, and really at one point it was just that this was just kind of like this, and he decided that one day to make it goofy. But I'm telling you, this is phenomenal. If any of y'all are into ham antennas or ham radio or anything like that, again, I've even used mine at my house a little bit, but I really keep it wrapped up, kind of like he has here, and I deploy it when I go to parks and different outdoor events and stuff like that for ham radio. But this thing works phenomenal, and I've been telling him for a while I know he has some issues with his mom, so he's already got low in stocks. Apparently these things are selling. I'm not making anything off of this or nothing like that. He's just a good friend of mine. Play a lot of Call of Duty with him. Y'all know, a lot of y'all know him from the Helium days, and it's a very, 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 very good antenna. It works on 40 meters and below, 40, 20, 15, 10, without tuner, 12 and 17, sometimes tunable. Mine does not need a tuner, but it is what it is. I got him trying to make me a 80 meter one for my emergency comms, because emergency comms at night here in Louisiana, we use 80 meters, and he's been having a hard time trying to figure that one out. But I really want a 160 meter one, but I don't have 500 foot of real estate to put a wire. But just for those of y'all who might be in ham radio, check this out. The website, I don't know how I'm gonna give you all the website. The website is NOLUV, NOLUV, antennas.etsy.com. I'm gonna put it in my description and try to help him out a little bit. But it's just, he's just making these things himself. So I don't know how many, he might tell me quit advertising because he can't keep up. Because he's hand making these one by one. But he does it. He does a damn good antenna. And I'm glad to see him. It's rare that you come across a really good ham antenna, I'll be honest with y'all. Especially something that's tunable on all these frequencies. I've been telling him, dude, you got to start selling these things. He has a 3D printer. So his 3D printer will, he makes the plastic part with the 3D printer. I think it's cool, dude. I mean, and he sat there and put the little eyes on it and stuff like that. But I did an AMA with Fluffy last year when I was trying to learn how to do AMAs and stuff, when I thought I was doing Wingbits, and I'm just too embarrassed to do Wingbits. I just don't know what I'm doing for AMAs and lives and stuff like that. It's all on me. But he has some great aspects on Bitcoin and what he believes in. While he's not a Bitcoin maximalist, if that's the word, he does strongly believe in Bitcoin first, and everything else is just, you know, extra. How about that? All right. I appreciate everybody who came and visited tonight, and you know, maybe I'll do a live over the weekend or something. Like I said, I don't have a lot of stuff to make videos on, so doing a live keeps the algorithm happy and that kind of stuff like that. And maybe I'll get around to finally setting up my Waveru device so y'all don't have to get on me no more. And that's about it. And maybe I'll do an AirSpy Mini just because I have some people asking about the AirSpy Mini, and just keep putting a disclaimer that says, you know, don't listen to me. I don't know what I'm talking about type of thing. You know, and this might not completely help you. Oh, just so I can go piss off somebody, I need to put all my codes up here because somebody will. Every time I do it, it seems like somebody wants to tag me in the Discord somewhere. Let me see. Like NASCAR. Yes, I'll sell tokens whenever I'm ready and my wallet dictates. So I think that's hilarious that people get upset. People, look, y'all watch YouTube. Do you really think nobody, YouTubers don't have coin, like tokens? Like that's absurd. It's stupidity. It also goes back to people who have to try to find somebody else to blame about something. I can't figure out how to get this rolling thing off of here. I got my little CB synthetics. Any of y'all need synthetic oil? Times are tight right now. Anybody need synthetic oil for boats, cars, RVs? I need to do a video on that too. I need to do a video on a lot of stuff, but times are crazy. Here's my codes for any projects that anybody might need to get into. You know, here's HiFix and all that stuff like that. HiFix and Helium Deploy. If anybody looking for Wingbits or GeoNet, how to join Chirp KAGE, 25,000 free tokens, and 375 AI. Like, again, I like those two projects because they can run in the background on your phone and you ain't got to deal with it. Silencio, I don't know why I'm sharing that. That whole raffle ticket, I was supposed to talk about that. That whole raffle ticket thing was a joke. So, with all that, I hope everybody has a good night. Again, I thank everybody who stayed by while I sat here and mumbled and went on and on in circles. And I hope everybody, you know, hope nobody was affected by the old tornadoes that hit the United States 2 or 3 days ago or over the weekend, whatever that was. I know my hunting camp area got hit for the second time in a year with some very bad tornadoes. It was so bad, like he made national news. It was crazy. So next live, you might have your Wingbits. I can only hope, man. Cywander's been lurking in the back. What's up, Cywander? I didn't see you here. Appreciate you hanging out. I guess you weren't here when I talked about him throwing a bunch of stations up in Alabama and on the Gulf. But with that, it's time to go. Oh, man. All right. So thank you all again. And I will see y'all on the next video, whenever that might be, about whatever it might be. I don't know. We'll see.